one, an Ohio State alumni, of course.
Oh,
but,
what a shock.
It's always a
drive to begin the ball game. Drop it off, and Gobert able to hammer Royce O'Neal. He's 1-1. The first one was an overtime win, and that was Denver and Jamal Murray, who opens with the jumper. Yeah, don't overreact. Get your team into a panic mode when the series is 1-1. Murray springs free and drops in the three. He's got Millsap on a switch, which means he's going right through the defense. Royce O'Neal doesn't want it. Mike Conley does. His three is perfect. This is inhales that rebound. Ingles to Mitchell. Good eye contact and the hammer by Donovan Mitchell. You see Porter averaging 20.5, but Utah's targeting him defensively as a young player. Ingles, another lob, this time to Gobert.
Extremely well right now for the Jazz in the playoffs.
Jokic on Gobert. No double coming, spins away to the baseline. And the Joker.
Window jokingly trying to get out. He's out right in time to play this game today.
Gobert putting it in and drawing the... Torrey Craig, Jeremy Grant, and Nikola Jokic. And the wing three perfectly done. And this is why lead. And Gobert, he has been the roller repeatedly, got his own miss. Rudy Gobert, and look at the stifle tower with a good cycle to Jeremy Grant. His three rimming out. Gobert couldn't grab the rebound, but here comes Mitchell in motion. Donovan Mitchell all the way to the iron to put it up and in. Forces the air ball, and Jokic with the rake and take. And right down the lane after the delivery from the Joker, Torrey Craig. You don't have Clarkson going off just yet. He's trying to get himself going, and there is his first basket. Juwan Morgan, good ball movement to Niang, missing the corner three. And all these 50-50 balls going Utah's way. So Utah's done it defensively. Drop it into Gobert again, he flips it up and in. Difference game shot clock. Jamal Murray, downhill Beautiful. On Gobert, right to the rim.
Definitely want to attack, get to the rim, and put pressure on their defense.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, right on cue, the 7th turnover of the game. Tony Bradley blocked, though. And Ingles, Juwan Morgan, Tony Bradley, and Jordan Clarkson, the second unit for Utah. Clarkson on a reload three and drops it in.
And force Jordan Clarkson to shoot over the top of you. Once you go for that pump fake, it's just money in the bank.
They need Michael Porter Jr. to do that. Their A game in game 2, they are playing wonderfully again today. Conley for three. Will push into the front court. Mike Conley again, wide open three. And that's going to...
The players actually executing their offensive sets to perfection to get the kind of high-quality shots they're looking for.
Monte Moore. Second quarter.
Well, we always talk about, and you said it last game, and coaches were talking about, how do we close out quarters? How do we close out the half to get momentum? And you're not going to close it out.
Ball threes become layups and dunks most of the time. And here's Murray on the floor balance, missing the layup. Porter Jr. to pick it up.
Jr. able to get a layup inside.
I cheated. It's in Phil Jackson's book. The layup to Gobert again. Clarkson attacking. Jokic met him. You see Denver scrambling on D, but the man closest to the basket is the one who's open. 2 interim goals for Denver. Try to get to single digits before halftime. Get to something manageable. And Jokic is set.
Just offensively to kind of just go get it. You see it in spurts, but you just don't see it consistently with Jokic because he's such a team player.
And Clarkson just Gobert another rebound. Gobert's going to have a double-double by halftime. Clarkson dropping it off again. Oh, Jamal Murray kicking out to Michael Porter Jr. That pretty three-point. And it's up to Jokic on this end to deal with his center matchup. Mike Conley. I'll tell you.
It's all about matchups. And right now the Utah Jazz feel they match up, as we see, extremely well.
Jokic for three.
Team, and they're able to exploit some mismatches that they do have.
The Yang on the drive and flipping it up and in. Well, what Utah
trying to block out Gobert inside.
Donovan Mitchell likes that Porter Jr. matchup. His three-point stroke.
More efficient since we've been here in the bubble, in particular in the playoffs against this Denver team.
Millsap three. And look it up and you're saying, is it really 22? Yes, it is. Niang catch and shoot. He drops in the 3. 6 in the key. Jokic on the ISO. And he'll just shoot over Gobert. And if you can draw. Jokic 3. Batted out. Straight to Jeremy Grant. Millsap. And he took Mitchell right to the ring.
Staff.
Ingles on the curl. They find Gobert with a shot clock at 5. In on Jokic and spiked away by Grant. What a block!
A little attitude right there with that block. Great defense that time by Murray.
Oh, what a block! And Murray taking it right back. And then Mitchell answers with a block. And a mental barrier being under 20 is so important. Murray off the Jokic feed, and 7 never got it. 2 for 1. And Millsap hits a 3. Game shot clock difference. Down to 5. Conley's got Jokic on the switch. The step back 3. Good! Part of this game. Denver finished on an 11-3 run. Jokic a very deep 3. And Denver could
to him. You hedge in now that corner. You're in this line of sight. He'll get it to you.
Ingles stopped. Mike Conley.
Speaking
what a game. Off iron. No look pass to Jokic. Better pass to Grant in the corner. Beautiful ball movement.
That's why he's on the move, because he's intelligent enough to know to get himself on balance and then make the play.
Donovan Mitchell has had phenomenal third quarter. Very attentive to Ingles as the trailer. Royce O'Neal catch and shoot. Ingles found him from the bench after the wrist surgery.
And it took some time, too, for this team to kind of make the adjustment. Beautiful middle pick and roll again to Jokic. And because he attracts so much from the defense, now you on offense have to make the adjustment. And speaking of which, how about Mike?
Incendiary ever since. 10 of 12. They're coming off a franchise best 20 in a playoff game. What a block by Jokic, but Ricochet out of bounds with 2 to shoot. Jeremy Grant backing it up. That's a confident stroke. Does he
influence? Not only block a shot, but influence a shot and right on time. Again.
He stayed out of foul trouble, so Gobert has been a menace to the Denver defense. Torrey Craig will use that O'Neal screen. Clarkson trying to get downhill on Monte Morris. And there's Gobert again. Why are they done?
And that's where Gobert was able to be open right in the middle.
Murray, little floater down the lane. Get back in it. Clarkson, speed and quickness. And there's Gobert again. Clarkson on Porter and putting it up and in. And 7 quarters of Utah brilliance to deal with. Monte Morris floating that in. Change things in terms of either rebounding or defense or energy level or something. And Niang hitting the 3.
What you talk about is what you do, on and off the court.
Oh, Jokic threw it right to Mitchell, the former slam dunk champion. Right hand tomahawk. A 30 points. I mean, the series will be 2-1, but it's going to feel like you're down 10-1.
Well, but even in that first game,
enough to know how to handle things. Conley playing beat the clock, and that typifies it. They're down 0-2, and it's more frantic, and instead it's like Jazz were brilliant in game 2, and they just built on it here, and George Niang opens.
Troy Daniels, defensively, you see something in him that says, you know what, we may need that spark in the next game early on to create some kind of momentum defensively.
Plumlee diving on the deck, which you like to see. Gator Bates, G-Op, misfiring there. I'd say Plumlee's still working.
Had some good shots, but the turnovers early led to fast break opportunities. See a nice little
George Niang.
It's our rim protector, finisher, offensive rebounder. That's the value.
It was Mason Utah, but also 48 points in the paint. I think the alarm bells are going to go off a little bit more being down 2-1 here. As the problem is the shocking nature that Utah has buzzsawed the Nuggets the last 2 games. Moutier missing. The nice follow by
lends itself to allowing those teams to feel a lot more confident, especially the younger players, of not playing in pressurized situations on the road.
Well, you just answered a really key question there, because with Ingles and Royce O'Neal as wings, that 3-point.
Well, maybe, you look at starting Jeremy Grant.
And a nice finish as these series go on with no travel and nowhere to go because you're with your teammates. Bowl. He was the tallest nugget.
But, it's funny, when his father was in Golden State and Nelly was the coach.
Yep.
They've kept this thing going. He's hoping to repeat and get it for the third consecutive year.
Well, I think the issue we talked about.
And also not just the block shots, it's just his presence influences and dictates a lot on the defensive end. That other, was it a stat, something that said that Marcus Smart wasn't in the top, wasn't included in that?
Bowl Defensive Player of the Year in the same year.
Yeah, extremely difficult to do both, but as a professional, as what you look at it, Marcus Smart is one of those guys that
right now in the final 5 seconds. So the Utah Jazz, they